Hi there. In this video, we're going to be focusing on the steps we need to follow to do the walking of Miia. So, programming it to walk forward as well as backwards. So, we're just going to do straight and we'll worry about the turning and those things at a later stage. So, to do that, there's this Mia's first steps exercise sheet. And we'll see the aim. One of the first things things we would want to do is get Maya walking. This exercise will help you to get to those first steps. The step consists of 3 stages. And with this, you have to think about the way you walk. What are the steps that you take when you do so? So you start on 2 legs, then you go onto 1 leg, then you'd say, okay, what else do you do? Do you swing your leg forward? Do you swing your leg back? Do you lean all your weight on the 1 leg? And then how do you end your your step as well? Do you come down straight in front of the other one, or is it more on the right? So it's all of these things that you really need to think about. Um, and then for the other step, once you take one step, how do you take the next step? Does it start the same way that the first step started? So it's all these things that we'll discover, and it's quite exciting. And we'll see. It will be a step-by-step progress program. So for the walking, we'll take one step with the left leg, say one step with the right leg, and then we'll combine the two. And then once you get 2 steps, you can essentially just repeat this process over and over, and it will be left, right, left, right, left, right. And that's how we'd get her to walk. So so as I mentioned before, so step one, we could say, okay, what is the first step? Is it stand on 1 leg? Is it being in the initial position? You decide. So to do this, you'll put what we're gonna do is for step one, these are the angles that the motors need to be at, and that's from our previous exercise. You can see which way your motors move, as well as you can see if you need to stand on your left leg or on your right leg. But yeah, so then you put your answers in over here, and then you go to the next step. Okay, what do you need to do after that? So if you do it in the code side of things, the 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 format is, so we put in all 4 of your motors. That's the standard thing. So for every time you do a function, you're gonna have 4 motors here. Output 1, output 2, output 3, output 4. And let's set them to 90. 90, 90, 90. And a good thing to do after this is to put a delay in. So you let it wait, say 500, half a second. That's just so that the motors have time to get to those positions, because sometimes it doesn't have time to get to the position that you want. And you can go, okay, this one. So this is step one, wait. Then we go to step two, and then we'll wait again. Let's make this 500. You can make this a bit more if you want to wait longer between steps so you can see how things are working. I actually think that's quite a good idea. So let's make this a bit longer. 2 seconds. Yeah, 2 seconds. And then we'll go to, yeah, we have to change this. And then we'll do another one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, sorry. 1, 2, 3, Okay, so this is the three steps that you see over here. So you'd say that maybe this is stand on one leg or it's whatever. So stand on leg, you set your motors here. Um, and then you could say, okay, at that angle, what do you need to do now? Do you need to twist your hips? So if you want to twist your hips, you'd use these two. And depending on which one, which leg is doing the twisting, you change these and you can find out what is going to be the most optimum for that. And let's just make this all 90 so you don't have any issues. And let's put that at 90. Yeah, so all these are going to change, but you just need to make sure, let's just put them, make the initials 90 while you play with each step. And yeah, so this is going to go through this increment, it's going to repeat this over and over and over. Um, so to test this, what we can do is to put a condition in. I am going to touch on this a bit later, so let's take this out. And so the condition is if something happens, then do everything that's in here. Else, don't do anything. So we'll say that if you press button Z, then it would go through this. So that's just so it doesn't repeat over and over and over and gives you more control to tweak these things. So every time you want the robot to do something, press A or A or B, depending on what button Z is, or Z on your keyboard. That also works. So yeah, so you'd investigate that. So you'd find, okay, your first step, this is what you do. These are the motors. So step one, these are the motor angles. Step two, that. Step three, and that's for the one step. Then you do the same for the next step. So on the right, what are the motor positions? And then you'd essentially just add the two up. So you'd put the first ones here and you put the second ones there and you see if that's the best way to do things. I mean, uh, it's all an investigation, it's a journey to see what's going to be the best. And then for your walking back, it's essentially the same thing, but it's following the same process, but it may be that just the step two would change. Um, where it would, instead of going forward, it would be going back. So once you fill out all these things, you essentially good to go and your walking would be sorted. Again, you save your project here, standing investigation. So actually, let's call it something else. Walking investigation. Investigation. Okay, boom. And we'll save it there and you know it's there. And yeah, thanks guys. Um, yeah, so this should be quite fun to see and quite a lot of learning in this.